If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come along down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below, and thank you to all of my current subscribers. Make sure you guys check out the links down in the description below for the Gleam.io giveaway hosted by NextLevelRacing. In 25 days, they're going to take all of the entries that are currently listed for the competition and pull a name for a chance to win the Flight Stand Pro. And I promise after watching the following video, you guys will find this as a very welcome addition to your simulator. Be sure that when you get down to creator code, you type the word overkill to get yourself an extra 50 entries to the Gleam.io giveaway. Take those chances, as many as you guys can. Follow down the list here. Check off each item to maximize your chances of winning the Flight Stand Pro. That is approximately a $500 US giveaway that takes you halfway to the cockpit you guys are about to see in this video. I promise you're not going to want to miss out on this. So again, check down the link description below for the Gleam.io giveaway. Be sure to use the creator code OVERKILL to add another 50 chances to win, and good luck to all of you who enter. Now for the rest of the video. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we are checking out the latest release for flight simulation from NextLevelRacing. NextLevelRacing has developed two new products, and that is the Flight Seat Pro as well as the Flight Stand Pro. In this video, we're going to go over in great detail what the differences between the two are and what they bring to your simulation experience. We're also going to be talking about how the two units can be brought together to make a single unit, which is why we also have the Boeing pit in the center between the two, because we are going to be comparing them once we bring them together in this video, showing you guys the difference in both size and functionality between the Boeing cockpit to the new Flight Stand and Flight Seat Pro configuration. One of the other things that I want to make sure you guys are aware of right in the beginning of this video is with both units combined together, the Flight Seat Pro and the Flight Stand Pro, you also have compatibility with their Motion Plus platform, meaning that these two units, when combined together, can be attached to NextLevelRacing's Motion Plus, giving you a full motion simulator. This is a very significant piece of this development, given the fact that usually with motion platforms, you have to have a very specific cockpit built. The other thing that's really awesome about this is it gives you the option to buy these in pieces and work your way towards the full configuration. These two units come in at $499 each currently, and brings you to a total of right around $1,000 US for both units. The reason why I make it very clear to mention that early on is because the Boeing cockpit that we're going to be comparing this to comes in at right around $800 US. You guys are going to find that the customization, configuration, overall size, and comfort of the new Flight Seat and Flight Stand Pro is quite significant in comparison to the Boeing. They are definitely significantly better, and much more thought was put into the design of these based on the previous configurations that were available in the past. I am very, very pleased with this overall configuration, and I think that you guys are going to be as well. There's also a ton more options of things that will not necessarily be displayed in this video that you can do with these configurations, and you guys will see some of that hardware here in just a second. The seat belts are available. I will not be having those attached, but they are there in case you guys are interested in that. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and find it useful for your purchasing experience. All right, you guys, so we are finally here. We're doing a review of the new NextLevelRacing Flight Seat Pro and Flight Stand Pro. We have the Boeing set, which we're going to be doing a comparison on later on. That's why I have this out here so you guys can see all of this. All right, we're going to start with the seat, then we're going to move over to the stand, then we're going to talk about what happens when we bring them together, and that's where the comparison will come in from. Okay, they've really done a great job in making some pretty significant changes to all of this stuff here, and let's go ahead and start talking about what some of those changes are. So we're going to move over here to the Flight Seat Pro here. What they've done here that I really enjoy is if we compare, now remember I have modified this from previous videos, you guys, so keep that in mind. This arm is my doing. So if you compare the mounting over here to this the Boeing set, you guys can sort of see that it just mounts directly to the side of the frame. There's no real adjustment. You can sort of do a little bit of tilt and vertically. But if we come over here to the Flight Seat Pro, they've really changed the game up quite a bit. You can now push these out horizontally. We have a couple of mounting points where we can go vertically. This also slides underneath where this can move forward and backward to give you further adjustment. So they really did a fantastic job with that. The other thing that I really appreciate about the Flight Seat Pro is, of course, the seat still moves forward and backward, but they've changed the way the center post now rotates. So we can actually loosen these up a bit, and it actually folds all the way down, which gives you the ability, so if you had your stick mounted, your stick would now be over here, and it gives you a much easier way to sort of step over and climb in. And they even give you something to sort of step on that allows you to climb into the seat a bit better. Then you would step in, rotate it, and simply reach down and tighten these up. So that's pretty slick. Now, the reason why I don't have that configured is I'm not going to be using center stick. I prefer side stick. Side stick's always the way I like to go. It just makes things a bit more comfortable for me. Now, as you guys can see, I'm rotating this. The other thing they did in comparison is they put it on wheels, which is huge for this particular configuration, because we have two different pieces that can come together. Both of them are now on casters, where this one is not. You have to just sort of slide it around. So if you're in a carpet environment, or maybe you want to be able to pull your seat out, you don't really have that option other than to drag it across the floor. So I really enjoy that they did that as well. There's a couple different configuration options for the Flight Seat Pro that allows you to either swap from side to side. Of course, the mouse pad is actually part of the stand, but we'll get to that in a minute. In regards to the comparison from the seat back, so if we were to stop here and here, that's basically where our cutoff point is. I really like what they've done here. The seat overall is basically the same as this one here, obviously a slightly different color because this is the military version of the Boeing, where this one is just dedicated to flight simulation in general. Of course, NextLevelRacing has always done a fantastic job with their documentation. So the assembly process was rather quick. My lovely cameraman here, my daughter, actually put it together, and she was able to do so in just over about 2 hours. So it really didn't take very long in the grand scheme of things. So let's move over to the flight stand for a second so you guys can sort of see where these come together. Now, the one thing that is really critical to the flight stand is this is where your rudder pedal plates are. If you want just the Seat Pro, your rudder pedals, if you guys are using them, are going to have to go on the floor or some other assembly. So keep that in mind. The thing that I really like what they've done here, and I wish they had actually done the same thing over here with the flight seat though, is that now you have rotatable arms here. Let me loosen these up just a little bit. It's always weird when you're doing it upside down. But you can actually, let me hold that, it's pretty tight. Why is that not moving? I didn't think I had it that tight, but apparently I did. There, oh, it helps when you go the right way. Yeah, welcome, my daughter's over here giggling at me. So, if you try to go the wrong way, you're not going to beat the metal. I want you to know that. That's still a flaw of the design, right? Metal is just stronger than I am, apparently. But that's a nice entry point. So what you can do is slide these out like this. That gives you a little bit more access. Now, you guys are going to see more about what this looks like when we get the two assembled, which we are going to do at the end of the video when we compare the two side by side. But it doesn't create as much open range, if you will, as you would think, and you guys will see that again here in a little bit. But the fact that it rotates at all definitely offers quite a bit. And again, you have the same adjustment points. You have a slider here. If you guys can see here, there's your slider, and this is how pretty much all of them work. You have this channel, you loosen the bolts, and things can slide in and out. It's going to be the same thing over there with the Flight Seat Pro. If you guys come down here, you guys can see the same thing on this side. Once you rotate the camera over here, you guys can see the same thing. It's got the channel where you can lift them side to side and then in and out on the side there. So let's go back to the stand here. The other cool thing that I really enjoyed they added was this face here. This face actually rotates from the side here and allows the entire thing to either pivot completely flat or to come forward. So if you guys remember, I had the MFDs and some touch screens that were on my previous build. So now I can actually use this plate and be able to rotate that. The other thing this can come in handy for example, is if you had some sort of steering assembly that you wanted to use. And of course, we have the same thing over here. You don't have the rotatable arm here, but you still have the slider adjustment. Here's mouse pad. The idea behind that is if you wanted, you could have your stick here, and they have really nice tension arms here. Again, I'm doing this upside down, and this time I won't go against everything. There we go. And I think we have a top bolt. There we go. So that would allow that to fold inward like this. And so what you would have is your stick would be here. Give me just a minute. I'll show you guys how that would work. You have a bunch of other assembly options that are still over here that we haven't actually put on. But your stick would go here. And then when you fold the unit back, it would get the stick out of the way, let you scoot up to it with your chair. This is designed for like a desk chair. And then you would roll it out and your stick could be center mounted, or you could do the side mount just like that we talked about previously. So the other cool thing they've done with the stand is they have this. This is a track, and it's got a couple of arms over here that you would assign to or assemble with it. But the track would actually lay down here on the floor, and it would allow you to roll your desk chair into it. That way, if you were using rudder pedals or something, when you go to push on it, it's not going to roll your chair back. So they actually thought of quite a few different contention points that they've been able to resolve here. And that's a big deal. Let me get that back up. Oh. Okay, and they also, the seat does come with seat belts if that's you guys' thing. And we're going to be talking about why the seat belt might be critical for some of you guys a little bit later on. So you have each unit currently priced, I believe, at right around $499 each. So $500 for this, $500 for the seat. Keep in mind that this, the Boeing, was running, I believe, $799 or $899, depending on where you were going. But I believe it was $799 US dollars for this set. So for $300 more, essentially, is what's going to come out to, you know, tax, shipping, all that. You're getting significantly more configuration options, considerably more mounting options that are really going to enhance the overall flight experience. So what we're going to do now is we are going to assemble these two together. We're going to attach the seat and the stand so you guys can see what it looks like all brought together. So we'll be back with you guys in just a minute. Okay, you guys, so we have completed the connection between the ProFlight seat and the ProFlight stand. Now, how this works is you simply remove the bottom casters of the ProFlight stand, and then it goes into this channel here and connects together, and we bolt it all up. So real simple to connect the two. There isn't really a whole lot of work here. So it's very, very nice and very, very convenient. Now you guys can see, hopefully here, what I was talking about earlier about how when this swings open, it doesn't open up a ton of space, but there is a bit of enough to get by. But now I want you to picture a throttle here or something like that. Now, the one thing that I'm not crazy about as I'm looking at it is I'm going to have to move this back as far as it can go, and I think it's already there. It is. So this can't go back any further. There aren't any more holes that we can mount to, so I would have liked to have seen the ability to move this back even further and then maybe just use the slide rail to bring it forward, but that's just a minor critique there. As far as getting in and out of it, it's actually quite easy at the moment. So we're just going to step in and have a seat. So it's a lot better than what this one over here was as far as the getting in and out of it. This one was actually quite a bit more difficult to get in and out of simply because of the center pedestal there for either your yoke or whatever it may have been that was going the center, and then having the actuation point of the Boeing down at the bottom. You'd have to reach way down in order to get that. Now, coming back over here, one of the things that I did is I removed the center stick. I don't like center stick mount. I like having the two side mounts. It's more comfortable for me, and this probably doesn't help. That's probably the reason why. But what I'm sitting here thinking is that I can still rotate this forward. I still have this up under here. If I want to do a center stick, I can put that pedestal here, bring it forward, and it would be more or less right about this location. So there's a lot of advantages here to bringing them together. The only thing that I don't like about the keyboard mount over here is that it still seems very far away, but it's not terrible. I mean, you can still see that I could reach that pretty easily and then, you know, have a mouse here, or I could have a mouse down here. Now, I'd probably bring the mouse here for this particular kind of use. The nice thing about this is there's still enough distance where I can actually slide this over here more, about another inch and a half or so. So it's a very, very slick program, so we can get in here, lock it all up however I want to do that. I'm already planning what I'm going to do. If you guys watch any of my previous videos, especially on the shorts, you guys will see the full cockpit I had using the Boeing. And so now I'm sitting here thinking we're going to have displays here, MFDs, a center touchscreen, maybe some sort of other smaller touchscreen or device here, and then my joystick here. I mean, this offers a lot. And in modifying the Boeing over here, you guys, if you watched again that shorts of this particular modification, I had a bunch of aluminum extrusion that I had to do and a bunch of cutting, chopping, etc. in order to make it all work. Now they've really done a very good job of offering a lot of those mounting points directly on the platform here without having to do too much runs to Ace Hardware, Home Depot, whatever it may be for you guys. So it's definitely a big change here, and I'm very, very impressed with this. Now, in the next video, guys, what you guys will see is you'll see everything all put together. This is going to be review 1 of 2. In the next video that you guys see, hopefully a couple days from now, you guys will actually see everything all hooked up and running, and you guys will get to see the impressions I have. But I can tell you guys right now that I'm already incredibly impressed and very enthusiastic about this build. And for the price point differences between these two, me personally, if you're wanting the full setup, I would grab the whole thing in one shot. I would not do just one stand or the seat. I would get, you know, both of them together. Again, if we're looking at approximately, probably after taxes, shipping, etc., we're looking at about $300, you know, more for this configuration, but a whole lot more functionality and customization. There's still more plates and mounting points behind me that we can add to it if we want to. There's a ton of option. I can actually probably take these plates off and bring them over here if I wanted. Now, obviously, you'd already have to have that, so leaving that to the side. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, what you guys feel about the ProFlight seat and stand. Now, the other thing that I want to make sure that everyone is also aware of is with these two together, this platform is now compatible with NextLevelRacing's Motion Plus platform. So you could actually add this directly on to a motion simulator. So keep in mind, that's another really huge bonus for this particular platform. You wouldn't have to buy anything else other than the motion pit when you were ready for that particular setup. So as always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one.